Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Would you care for a piece of piston? Oh my
Wow.
god. Um Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. And it's just back to our normal scheduled videos of let's pull an engine out of the 51 because I blew it up. It's like a month after Cleetus and Cars now. Been super busy. I wrapped the boat. We went to Colorado, dyno tuned the Trans Am, did Pikes Peak. That was amazing. But because of that, this thing has just been sitting for about a month. So it drove in here, sounded a little better than when we put it in the trailer. Still does not have great oil pressure. And I'm pretty sure what happened is I think I blew this driver's side head gasket. Because afterwards, you know, it milkshaked all down the side of the truck. Which is odd. I've never blown one of these Cometic MLS gaskets. My theory is that the head studs have stretched. I've talked to a bunch of guys. I've talked to the PFI guys, and they're like, yeah, you get them hot, they'll stretch. Well, this thing's seen 250, 270. It's been the same set of head studs I've swapped motor to motor to motor. And when I put them in this motor, when I was torquing them, it seemed a little weird. Like, they just didn't, you know, you get used to how they torque up. These didn't seem to be the same. So I had a little bit of an inkling that maybe something wasn't quite right, but I'm going to order a fresh set and we'll compare them. Maybe there's a measurable difference, maybe there's not, but we'll put some fresh head studs in the next motor. But I'm going to pull this thing apart and see what actually happened. And I looked at the data log. This thing was on the limiter the entire run at 6,000, making 20 pounds of boost. Injector duty cycle was 107%, so it was out of fuel. But I know it'll make 20 pounds at redline on the fuel system because I was at like 11.5 to 1, so I had plenty of fuel at 107% duty cycle. So I'm really curious to see if the bottom end held together. If those rods are good, then screw it. This thing's going to be on 20 pounds on E85. And, you know, if you remember back when I shot the rods out of that other motor when I made 20 on the 85, it makes a lot of torque. So I'm really curious to see. I want to know if that bottom end held together with those rod bolts. But we'll do a quick little diagnosis here, and then we'll just tear it down and see what happened. Pretty bad. Another funny little thing I saw was my dome pressure sensor actually got sucked into the turbo because this metal zip tie is supposed to be right here holding that down. So yeah, I think the turbo is okay. Oh, never mind. Holy crap. Yep. Okay, turbo not okay. That thing won't spin at all. Damn, that sucks. New turbo on the way. What I wanted to see was, what does this look like? Yep. I mean, shouldn't be up there. And it also shouldn't be that color, so definitely pop the head gasket, I'd say. But, man, that sucks. That turbo won't spin at all. I was not expecting that. Because I'm pretty sure it was spinning before. Definitely not spinning now. Is there stuff in there? Nope. I'm getting real good at killing these Chinese turbos now, too, but you can't blame it when it sucks up. Need to get a filter back on here. Well, I'm gonna tear it down, and then we'll tear it apart together and see what it looks like. I got the top end torn down, and I was not expecting to see this much carnage in here. I mean, clearly oil and water have been mixing, but I wasn't really expecting to see gravel. Don't even know what that is. That's, oh boy. Oh boy. That, all right. Well, yeah, it's all nasty up here. I wasn't expecting to see that much garbage. Oh, bent push rod. Oh, that's nasty. Oh, I wonder if she hydro-locked. Oh, yeah, that one. Both those two are bent, which you can see it's also got crap in there. Wow. Did a good one. Did a real good one. All right, get the engine out. It's on the stand. Look at this oil filter. Like, that looks like uncured JB Weld.
Yeah, that looks disgusting.
Like, doesn't.
Ugh.
Yeah. It's so heavy, too. Let's see what we got in here. And this stuff, I'm just gonna count as all garbage. Because even these push rods, I don't know, maybe, I'm sure some are savable, but... These two. Wow. They took out the guide plate. The guide plate's all bent up. And the guide plate chewed into the side of it.
Wow. Those are pretty toasted.
Yeah, these are silly push rods.
Ridiculous.
I know. We'll keep them to the side. Let me add that to my cool collection of crap I broke. Let's see what we got in here. That looks normal.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not, that looks normal.
Wow. Yeah, that's not bad at all.
I don't really see any marks on the head gasket either.
No, those look pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really, really looking here, and I am not seeing anything where it's split. Okay. Well, I thought blew the driver's side head gasket. I would say probably not. Now, though, we know this side's bad. This is the one with coolant coming out the exhaust ports. And the bent push rods. And, whoa. Look at that
Nice.
spark plug. Look at that spark plug.
Oh, wow.
Or what is left of that spark plug. Oh my god. Oh, oh my god. Would you care for a piece of piston?
Wow.
Oh my god.
How do you find new ways to destroy it every time?
The whole cylinder wall is gone. Like
What?
the entire cylinder wall is gone.
Oh my god.
Like, come on, stupid flashlight. Yeah, well, flashlight. Let me grab a lamp.
That is crazy.
Yeah. The entire cylinder wall is just missing. That's the outside of the block.
How does that even happen?
I don't know. This side, also very, very unhappy.
Yeah.
The interesting thing is, I mean, that's piston right there. But this is rod.
Yep.
This is top end of the rod. Bottom end's still on there. So the ARP's held together.
Yeah.
So I didn't split the rod caps out
Right.
before the ARPs. So now, let's see if we can see anything on this head gasket. Because maybe the head gasket didn't go, and maybe it just broke that rod. If it broke the rod, that would have mixed the oil. But man, I mean, it was making 20 pounds. Wow. Yeah, that doesn't look bad at all.
Hmm.
So,
So what do you think broke the rod?
maybe 20 pounds of boost on E85 on the limiter for a minute or a minute and a half or whatever it was. I don't remember how long it was, but the RPM was a flat line on the limiter. It doesn't sound like it in the video because I have it set to the soft limiter where it pulls, it doesn't kill all ignition at once. It just kind of floats what cylinders it kills, so it's softer. So it doesn't sound like I'm on the limiter, but I was on it the whole time. Or maybe I hydrolocked it with fuel. I don't know, but it's odd that it bent the push rods.
Yeah.
Like, but I guess if it broke that rod and then shoved the piston up in and the piston wedged.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
to take out the whole cylinder wall, top and bottom,
That is pretty crazy.
I don't know. This is, man, I was like, oh, it's gonna have blown head gasket and maybe it hurt itself a little, but I don't know, man. That's it. Just where's the rest of it? I guess down in the pan.
Yeah, you're missing quite a few pieces there.
Yeah. I don't even. Well, I mean, it drove in here, so it does spin over.
Yeah. At least it did.
Yeah. There's still oil in the pan because it's draining very slowly. Probably because there's giant chunks of stuff in there. But...
Probably.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of oil in the pan.
Oh yeah.
Which it is open right now. I have the drain plug out.
Yeah, it's just drizzling out.
Yeah, I guess I'll put the drain plug back in and then we'll pull the pan with the motor like this. And that way it should hold everything. And then we'll flip the motor over and see what it looks like. I was not expecting this. I'll have to go into the data log and see, I mean, how much power can 60-pound injectors at like 70 or 80 psi fuel pressure, how much power will they support? Because I was at 107% duty cycle.
Right.
Like, it was screaming. Probably not my best answer, but to be fair, I did have it turned down.
You did.
I had like nothing on the wastegate. It's just that wastegate now with the cam and everything is not enough to doesn't flow enough. So it was making 20 pounds on a tune that should have made like 7 or 8. Because I think I had 2 pounds on the dome. But if it can't flow enough, it can't flow enough. So might need a wastegate upgrade too.
Probably not a bad idea.
Whoa.
Oh, jeez.
Caught the motor mount. Well, there's a ring.
Oh, it's so thick.
Oh, that's the oil pump. Oh no, that's a valve. Is there a missing valve? Oh, there is a missing valve.
Yeah, I don't know how you didn't notice that.
I was so focused on the destroyed,
I thought for sure you saw that when you were pointing out the spark plug.
Wonder if it, like, a valve stuck.
Oh, maybe.
There's some rod. There's a wrist pin. That's probably reasonable. Oh, it comes with confetti! Well, that is absolutely disgusting. I mean, how does a valve hit a valve get broke off? Wonder if did it float a valve or something? If it flowed a valve and hit, or stuck a valve, that would break a piston.
Yeah.
Or it shoved the piston up in there and then it tried to open the valve, and you wouldn't think that would break a valve off. Or it could have just dropped the valve. If all this happened is because it dropped a valve, that's really frustrating.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna have to pull that valve stem out and see if it's bent. Because if it just broke a valve and that took out the whole motor, and I didn't do anything wrong and the head gaskets didn't fail, which they didn't fail, well, that's dumb. Alright. Alright, this thing looks pretty normal under here. This rod is still on here. It actually feels like it spins okay. I'll pop that rod cap off and just see what it looks like. It's tight.
I'd say so.
I think I have a problem solver for this.
Have to try everyone first. It does seem like there's nothing that thing can't get off.
Yeah, it'll get anything off. You know, surprisingly, that's what the bearings look like when they went in. Like,
Yeah?
for having this for oil, it seems to be like they held up pretty well. I mean, you know, and the fact that half the rod's gone. It's always,
There is that.
but I don't know what to make of this. Because there's 7 rods that say 20 pounds is good. There's 1 rod that says, no way, Jose. Curious to see how it spins over now that...
Yeah.
I mean, it fired right up. It drove right in here. It sounded absolutely awful. But it did it. And I wasn't that angry about it.
Just sounded like there was some rocks in the motor this time.
Actually, when I drove it in the garage, there like really wasn't any noise. It was kind of odd. It had higher oil pressure and yeah, it seemed much happier. Maybe because it let all the, like on the drive back or something, all the metal settled to the bottom of the...
That could be. Seems like it spins over pretty freely.
Yeah, it feels exactly how you'd expect.
Huh.
There's no free play or anything. I don't know. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
I
It could have just been that valve, like you said.
yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. Is it just dropped the valve? What bugs me is it's number 6. Last 3 motors, it's been number 6.
That is very suspect.
So, what's going on with number 6? But I mean, it broke a valve off, and that, to me, yeah, that kind of seems like maybe. I don't know. Let me grab my valve spring tool, pop that valve spring off, and we'll see what that valve stem looks like. Can't. Oh yeah, it's bent.
Yeah, you can see it.
It bent off that way.
Chicken or the egg?
I don't know. That's the hard part, right? Did it break a valve and then break a piston? Or did it break a piston and then knock off a valve?
It is odd that it's number 6 every time.
Yeah, I know. It's very weird.
Does number 6 have like a bad injector or something? Like, could that
That's
be?
something I gotta look into. Is I gotta get the injectors flowed out, but if it leaned out, it would just melt a piston.
Right.
And I mean, I've proven that before. Where is she? She's over here or something.
Right there.
Yeah. This is what happens when you lean them out. They don't just break rods; they just melt. So.
Your reminder.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost on this one. I'm really lost on this one. So, I mean, I got to put a new motor together. There's no question there. This one is,
Missing a cylinder
yeah, I mean, it just beat the
completely.
crap out of it. But, I mean, I don't even know where most of that piston is.
That is
it's
crazy.
gone. Might be wedged in that turbo that's all seized up,
Hey, that could be.
but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I broke a rod. It's hard to say. I mean, there was definitely piston to rod, piston to valve. I mean, because it bent the push rods, broke a valve off. But what happened first? And did it just break the rod and shove the piston up in, and it got wedged, or I don't know. I don't know. Inconclusive. So we'll just put a new motor together and I'll figure out what to do next. I don't know. New and exciting ways to kill a 5.9 Magnum.
You're gonna find them all.
I know. I wish I had more conclusive proof as to what happened here, because this isn't much of a learning experience right now.
No.
I've been trying to learn from every one of these motors, and 7 rods say 20 pounds is good. 1 rod says no bueno. So I do not know. Come back, we'll put it back together, we'll go do it. We got some upgrades for the trans coming too, probably, so